To dzień dobry Państwu, jest godzina 17, także będziemy zaczynać. Witam serdecznie na naszym kolejnym wykładzie z Project Management in Industry. Dzisiaj fajny temat, plany, taki temat bardzo mocno projektowy, bo jeżeli zapytamy osobę, która nie zajmuje się zarządzaniem projektami, z czym mu się kojarzy projekt, to zwykle powie, że z planowaniem, no i w tym jest bardzo dużo racji. Chciałem Państwa przeprosić za anulowanie wykładu w zeszłym tygodniu, ale nadrobimy wszystko, także dzisiaj zaczynamy od planów. Na czacie udostępniłem link do transmisji na YouTube, oczywiście ta transmisja będzie dostępna również po zakończeniu wykładu, także możecie Państwo do niej śmiało wracać, a zaczynamy już merytorykę od tematu plany. Oczywiście przypominam o zadawaniu pytań na czacie, swobodnie czat jest do Państwa dyspozycji, także w jakimkolwiek momencie naszego dzisiejszego spotkania mielibyście Państwo pytania, proszę po prostu pytać. Wykład będzie podzielony na dwie części. W pierwszej części opowiem o procesie planistycznym, a w zasadzie narysuję Państwu ten proces planistyczny. W drugiej części zrobię prezentację stworzenia planu przy wykorzystaniu oprogramowania Microsoft Project. Więc taki jest plan na dzisiaj. So we can start with a plan theme regarding the project management industry. So, as you remember, the project is described by 6 parameters, and we have talked about benefits when we talked about business case. We also talked about quality. As far as you remember, the quality is strongly related to the products of the project. So if you remember also the benefits diagram, you should remember that output of that project are described by project products. And we define a quality parameters, quality expectations to the project products. So the quality is strongly related with the scope. But in fact, the plan should describe us all 4 operational parameters, the parameters which are shown sometimes as a project triangle. I mean scope, time, cost, and quality. And maybe you remember which parameter in traditional project management should be defined first. Which parameter is first defined? Also, of course, after the benefits, because the benefits should be first, but taking into account the parameters which are described by the plan. So we are talking about these 4, which should be defined as a first one. Scope, exactly. Because we have to answer the question, what we should deliver in our project. So the scope is the first parameter I have to define as a project product description together with the outline of the business case before I start the project. So to make a decision, start or not start, I have to know what kind of benefits the project should bring to my organization and also what the project in this case should deliver. And these 2 informations are very important to make the first strategic decision before I start the project, start or not go or not go. Okay, if we know what the project should deliver, so just like I said you before, the planning process in traditional project management is very simple, because we start with something which is called project breakdown structure. So I have to decompose my project product into small parts and go deeper and deeper and deeper and define a set of small products which should be delivered during the timeline, during the derivation phase, and stage after stage should lead me to the deliver at the end of the project output. I mean the project which is described by project product description. So at the very beginning, I have to decompose my scope into small parts, and after that, I can take into account the relationship between each product. You know, if we start with building a house, I have to start probably with the foundation. After that, I have to build a wall. After that, the roof. After that, I can to put some installation, etc., etc. So I have a very logical sequence of actions which should be provided during the realization phase to deliver a project product. And in this part of planning process, I will use some kind of flow diagrams. And during this technique, during this step, I also start to prepare the estimates. I estimate the time which is necessary to deliver each element of my plan. And also I can estimate a cost which is related to each deliver of each partial project product. And after that, I can put it into the timeline using, for example, Gantt charts to prepare a project schedule, split the timeline into parts. You know the principle which is ask us to cut our project into the stages, define a result of each stage using, for example, a milestone technique, estimate a time, a cost, and a result of each stage. Think about some tolerances. So think what is a mistake of my estimations, and after that put it together and show to our project board and say, hello guys, this is our idea for deliver a project product. I know as a project manager that providing this plan, that action this plan, I can deliver a project product. Of course, during this time, I also make some kind of risk analysis, but we will talk about risk next week. So right now, we do not talk about risk anymore because it's, of course, integration part of planning process, but is a bit different. And I can show you step by step all these elements of planning process to show you how we should deliver a plan. We start, in fact, with designing a plan. What is designing the plan means? I have to remember that the plan is some kind of documentation. On the basis of it, someone will make decision. So as far as you remember, we have several levels of the planning. A top level is a project plan, a medium level is a stage plan, and of course, when I have to start to delegate the work packages into the team manager level, the team manager can prepare a plan for his or her team. And of course, as far as you remember, project manager manage only to the work package level, and below the work package level, the team manager is responsible for planning, for making a plan on the team level. So I have to think what I should show in my plan. If I prepare a plan of a project, you know that this high-level plan, I have to show the all realization phase. But if I prepare a stage plan, I have to show in my plan the work packages, and this plan should make me possible to delegate these work packages to the team managers who are assigned to each work package. When I'm designing the plan, I have to also think about some planning technique I will use to show the plan to our stakeholders. And in the project plan level, I often use a timeline technique, sometimes a Gantt chart, but if I have more than 100 elements in my project plan, the 100 elements of Gantt chart is completely unclear during the presentation to the key stakeholders. So I prefer a complex presentation of the plan, just like, for example, timeline. I will show you it on my presentation during Microsoft project. If I prepare a stage plan, sometimes I will use responsibility matrix. I will show you the technique of responsibility matrix during our next lecture, during our next meeting, when I will talk more about operational project management. After that, I can start to define and analyze the product. So in fact, I prepare a project breakdown structure. After that, I identify activities and dependencies. So I use some flow diagrams or net technique to catch the dependencies between the relation between each element of my plan. After that, I prepare some estimates. So I put here time and cost. After that, I prepare a schedule. So moving from this kind of view, I use some planning technique, the typical is a Gantt chart, and put my activities on the timeline. And after that, I document the plan to the form which was defined at the beginning of my process when I designed the plan. So prepare a timeline, Gantt chart, activity matrix, and a kind of description to show this plan to my stakeholders and probably get some kind of approval for this plan. In Prince2 methodology, we have a special kind of technique which is called product-based planning technique. And this product-based planning technique covers these two steps of planning procedures: define and analyze the product, and identify activities and the dependencies. I will show you this technique on my short example at the moment. If I prepare the product breakdown structure, I can use some kind of net diagram to calculate the shortest time which is necessary, which is required to deliver a project product. In fact, the PERT technique is kind of net diagram technique, and I can define here several parameters for each node of my diagram. It is early start, early finish, late start, late finish. D is duration, TF is total float, and here we have a task name. But I will show you a much simpler technique to recalculate the flow diagram, and I recommend you to use this technique during your workshop. If I know everything about time and the cost on the basis of net diagram technique, I can put it on the timeline using, for example, Gantt chart, and after that, put to my plan some kind of steering elements. Steering elements in very simple approach is dividing a plan into the stages, defining a result of each stage by defining milestones, calculate time and cost for each stage, and also add some tolerances to make possible to delegate a decision to the project manager level. Because as you remember, the project manager can make the decision within the stage only if he or she is within the tolerances. If he or she is over the tolerances, has to escalate the project issue on the project board level, on the strategic level. So the tolerances for each stage make possible to very precisely delegating responsibility for making a possibility even for making a decision. The very interesting plan parameter is a cost, because in fact in plan we have three dimensions of the costs. The first dimension is material cost or resources, cost of the work. It's very simple. Work is work of the people in many time. Material, for example, you need to use some concern or some steel or some wood, and you have to pay for it. We have direct and indirect costs. Direct are directly related to your project, and you can, on the basis of financial document, assign it to your project schedule. Indirect costs are normally tricky to calculate in your project because these are some kind of costs which normally organizations spend during the business as usual activities. So we cannot assign it directly to the project. For example, you have a coffee machine if your company, and you know that the total monthly cost of your coffee machine is 1,000 zlotych. And during this time, you provide 5 projects, and you have to divide this 1,000 zlotych between this project. You can divide it 200 per each project, or you can also measure some kind of coffee consuming for each project. So there are several techniques for calculate and assign to the project indirect costs. And also we have a third dimension, fixed costs, which are fixed to the project element, and variable, for example, costs which are related to with the time. So as long as we make some kind of activities, we spend the money. Okay, and I think that these are all principles on the basis on which we can make some short example, but maybe you have any question to this principle. I know that there were a lot of theory right now, but maybe you have some kind of question. Panie Wojciechu, proszę się nie przejmować spóźnieniem. Nie doszliśmy jeszcze do właściwej części, czyli do części przykładowej. Ja się na razie wymądrzałem teoretycznie. Może macie Państwo jakieś pytania dotyczące procesu planistycznego? Bo chciałem Państwu przykład pokazać, taki hipotetyczny trochę. Ale taki myślę, że obrazowy. Czyli proszę Państwa, krótko podsumowując in Polish tym razem, nie w language'u, procedura planistyczna jest prosta jak konstrukcja cepa, to czyli po prostu jest jasna sekwencja działań, które jeżeli macie określony rezultat, bo zaczynamy od rezultatu, od scope'u, jak macie ten scope, on jest tutaj na górze, to go rozkładacie sobie na czynniki pierwsze, łapiecie sobie dół tego drzewka, łapiecie sobie relacje między nim, szacujecie czas trwania i koszt poszczególnych elementów, wrzucacie to wszystko na oś czasu, ustanawiacie elementy sterowania, czyli dzielicie na etapy, określacie kamienie milowe, szacujecie czas trwania, koszt, rezultat każdego etapu, dorzucacie sobie tolerancję, przedstawiacie w formie czytelnej dla małych dzieci, dla komitetów sterujących i macie plan. Sekwencja jest banalna, cały dowcip polega na tym, żeby nakarmić tą sekwencję dobrymi danymi. I to jest największa trudność w planowaniu, dobre dane wejściowe, bo sam proces planistyczny, tak jak ja zawsze mówię, jest prosty jak konstrukcja cepa. Planowałem w życiu dziesiątki projektów, setek chyba nie było jeszcze, chociaż jakby dobrze policzyć. I w każdym z nich głównym problemem były dobre dane wejściowe, w szczególności dobra identyfikacja zakresu, to jest trudne, i w szczególności dobre oszacowania, czyli ten krok prepare estimates, czyli dobre oszacowania czasowe i kosztowe. My w znacznej mierze projektów nie mamy dobrej wiedzy na temat potencjalnych kosztów. Często zgadujemy. Akurat tak się złożyło, pewnie jak Państwo wyczytaliście z mojej stopki, ja mam stanowisko dyrektora Centrum Obsługi Informatycznej Urzędu Miasta Krakowa i w tym momencie w portfelu mam 37 projektów informatycznych. I dzisiaj było rozstrzygnięcie przetargu na jeden z projektów, bardzo ważny dla nas, referencyjna baza osób. Duży, nowatorski bardzo system, którego chyba nie ma wzorca w Polsce i myśmy oszacowali w oparciu o różne parametry potencjalny koszt. I tak dzisiaj jechałem na ten wykład w samochodzie, słuchałem sobie na słuchawkach komisji przetargowej, która ze względu na pandemię była na szczęście na YouTubie transmitowana i tak sobie w głowie zliczałem koszty, które wychodziły z ofert. No i na całe szczęście rozrzut był duży, bo od 900 000 do 3 milionów myśmy szacowali wstępnie ten koszt na poziomie około 1,5 miliona i mniej więcej tak to się uśredniało, czyli jakimś cudem nam się udało zgadnąć. Oczywiście tam niewiele było dziełem przypadku, bo z tyłu były naprawdę dobre estymaty, natomiast to cały czas były estymaty. Czyli do czego zmierzam? Nie bójcie się Państwo robić założeń. Nawet jeżeli Wasze oszacowania będą obarczone błędem, to przy już średniej wielkości projekcie, ten błąd zacznie Wam się uśredniać. A zawsze możecie, mając już lepsze dane wejściowe, poprawić sobie kalkulację i czasu, i kosztów. Nie da się przewidzieć wszystkiego, co się zdarzy w projekcie. To jest niemożliwe, więc nawet tego nie próbujcie. Natomiast też nie bójcie się popełniać błędów planistycznych, bo metodyki sobie z tym radzą. I zły plan jest lepszy od braku planu. Okay, that's all I think. As a comment to my theoretical introduction, maybe you have still a question, so you can ask it on the chat. So feel free to use a chat to asking the question in English or in Polish, as you prefer. It doesn't matter. I think we have all Polish speakers during our lecture right now, so we can use the Polish language as well. But I would like you to show the example of planning process on the basis of some kind of theoretical, sorry, difficult word, theoretical example. So let's imagine that we start Excuse me, I would like you to answer if you hear me. Przepraszam, czy Państwo mnie słyszycie? Proszę odpowiedzieć na czacie. A teraz? Teraz też? Dobra. Słuchajcie, miałem krótki problem techniczny, ale już do Was wracam. Tylko jeszcze muszę jedną rzecz zrobić. Okay, so we can start again with our project breakdown structure. So I have a project product description, and the project product description should describe me the output of the project. So I have to deliver as a project manager a project product. It's very simple definition of responsibility of project manager in time, in cost, and together with quality parameters. And I have to decompose my project product into something which is sometimes called product groups. For example, I have 3 product groups, and after that I can decompose these product groups into the partial products. 1.2 and maybe 2.1, 2.2 and 2.3, and also 3.1 and 3.2. What this definition show me? It shows that I have to deliver these products, and this is a total scope of my project. So I can say that I have to deliver 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 products, and this is all which is necessary to say that I deliver a PPD, a project product. So in this case, I define very precisely a scope of my project. Here is a scope of the project. And of course, to each product, I can also define the quality parameters. So here I have also a quality. this structure do not show me the relation between elements. So after that, I have to prepare some kind of flow diagram. So let's try to do this. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 parameters. So I will use 7 net nodes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Maybe here will be 6 and 7. Here I have 1.1, here I have 1.2, here I have 2.1, 2.2 and 2.3. Here I have 3.1 and 3.2. And I also can put relations between these elements. Maybe here this will be independent. And in next step, I can make some estimates. So I have put here time, for example, in weeks or days, which is necessary to deliver each product. So I have spent, for example, 2 weeks on work on this product, 1 week, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, 2 weeks, and 3 weeks. And after that, I have to recalculate my net diagram. If here I have a number of the task, here I have a time, here I have early start, here I have an early finish, and anytime early finish is early start plus time. So I start with time equals 0 because I start with my project in any point of time. 0 plus 2 is 2. So this 2 week I have to put here and also here. 2 plus 1 is 3. 2 plus 3 is 5. So the question is what I should put here. When can I start the task 2.2? The task which are in relation before I start 2.2 is 2.1 and is 1.2 and 2.1. The first one in finish in the 3rd week and the second one is the 5th week. So what I should put here? When can I start this task? You can answer on chat, please. Kiedy mogę zacząć to zadanie? Skoro ma 2 poprzedniki, jeden się kończy w 3. tygodniu, drugi w 5. Ale słyszycie mnie Państwo, mam nadzieję. Tak, słychać. Bardzo dziękuję. Okay, so if you don't want to answer, I have to put the greater value for this task, so I have to put 5 here, because normally I can start it after the 4th week, but I have to wait to the end of 5th week, because both of these tasks should be finished before I start this one. So here I put 9, here put 3, and 3 plus 2 is 5. Here I have a 5, so in this case, I have 3 elements which has an influence to the start of the last task in my project, 5th week, 9th week, and 5th week. So I have to put the greater value for this and put his 9. And for example, I have 1 week for the last task. And in this case, I can show that my project can be finished in 10 weeks. Także jak Państwo widzicie, stosując technikę diagramu sieciowego, mogę sobie poprzez określenie czasów trwania i określenie najwcześniejszych rozpoczęć i najwcześniejszych zakończeń po prostu przeliczyć ten projekt. And I have also calculate here something which is called the critical path. It's a flow of the task which define me this time. So I can say that this task determines me the 10 weeks time for this project. Czyli możecie Państwo użyć tej techniki ścieżki krytycznej do tego, żeby określić ciąg zadań krytycznych, które definiują Wam ten najkrótszy czas trwania projektu. Jeżeli byście mieli skracać harmonogram, to musicie skracać te zadania, bo skracanie tych nie przyniesie Wam rezultatu. OK. After that, I have put some money here. So put 10,000 złotych, 5,000, 20, 30, 20, 10, and 15. And after that, I can put it to the timeline and prepare the schedule. The schedule is very simple. So I need a timeline with 10 weeks, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Here I have a 5. And also I have to put all my tasks here. So I have 1.1, 1.2, 2.1, 2.2, 2.3, 3.1, 3.2, and that's all. And also, I have to put all these elements to the timeline. And the first one, maybe I change the color. The first one is 2 weeks. The second one is 1 week. The third one, 2.1, is 3 weeks up to 5. 3.1 is also 3 weeks. 3.1 is here. So here I have also, 2 weeks from this to this. 2.2, it's 9. So I have up to here. And 2.3, it's 2.3. It's here. Oh, it's here and here are 3. Okay, and the last one is here. Maybe not very precisely, but in fact I should have all tasks on my timeline. And right now I can divide my schedule into stages. In this case, it's very easy because here I have put a border of each stage and say the first stage is 5 weeks. Second stage is also 5 weeks. And also I can define a milestone. Milestone is very important result of the project, partial result which could be measured. And normally the milestone should be achieved when I deliver a product group. So here I should have a milestone. Also here I should have a milestone, and also here I should have a milestone. And also I can put any other milestones here and define a result of each stage as a set of the milestone in my schedule. And of course, I can also put here a money. I have a 10,000 złotych, 5,000. Next we have 30. 2.3 is 10. 3.1 is 20. 3.2 is 20. And the last is 15. So if I sum it here, I have 75,000 złotych, and here I have 35,000. So the sum is 100,000 złotych and 10 weeks. And here I can add some tolerances and put that I maybe need 1 week more, and here I will 1 week more, and my estimates for a cost is 10%. And I add these tolerances here, so I have plus 2 weeks and 10% of costs. And that's all. As you see, The planning sequence is very, very easy. So you can use this technique, use this flow when you prepare your schedule. Step after step, starting from decomposing the project scope, using the product breakdown structure, using a flow diagram, make some estimates, calculate your time of your project, put some money here, put it into timeline, draw it into timeline, define a milestones, divide it into stages, calculate time and cost and result for each stage, add some tolerances, sum it together and show to your project board and say, hello guys, this is my idea, how to deliver a project product. Jak Państwo widzicie, procedura banalna i nie ma tutaj za bardzo co się zastanawiać nad tym, tylko trzeba ją przejść, mając na wejściu dobre dane wejściowe. Jakie macie Państwo do tego pytania? Bo będę chciał, żebyście podczas warsztatów taki plan zrobili, używając technik analogowych, tak jak tutaj, albo tak jak za chwilkę pokażę, jakiegoś narzędzia. Można w projekcie, można w Excelu. Jeszcze sobie zrobimy jedne dodatkowe zajęcia z narzędzi, czyli z projekta i z Excela, ale to sobie przed warsztatami zrobimy. Także jakie macie Państwo pytania do tego? Słuchajcie, jeśli nie ma pytań, to przejdźmy w takim razie do prezentacji tego samego planu w narzędziu. Ja bym chciał pokazać Microsoft Project, ponieważ Państwo jako nasi studenci macie dostęp do licencji Microsoft Projecta, to zachęcam do tego, żeby z niego skorzystać. Generalnie oprogramowanie tanie nie jest, bo licencja jednostanowiskowa kosztuje chyba ponad 2000 zł, a w abonamencie chyba 300 rocznie czy 4, także warto skorzystać. No i chciałem Państwu pokazać, że to, co zrobiłem przed chwilą na tym moim bardzo prostym przykładzie, tutaj też będzie bardzo, bardzo proste. OK. So, I switch my camera to the front and also I share my screen. So give me a second. Okay. Give me a second, I have to share my screen, full screen. Screen 1. Okay, I hope that my Microsoft project is already visible. As I see on my prompter, you should see it. Unfortunately, I cannot make it larger because it is not possible to scale it, but I would like you to see what can I do with Microsoft project, but anytime we also make some practical exercises with a Microsoft project. So I have to start with make some optimization adjustment. I change the type of the tasks as automatically planning and also switch some options. And because I will plan in weeks, I change the duration to weeks. And also work I have changed into days. And OK. Also, I will show the project summary task and say it is my very important project. So this is the name of my project, is a project summary task. In fact, it's the root of my task tree. And start with group product 1. I have 3 product groups, for example, is a construction, machinery, and HR, human resources. Product group 2 and product group 3. And also add subproduct here. Because I have to make a structure, I can put it product under the product group, and in the same case I will make 3 elements of my project. Maybe I switch my camera to show you that I in fact prepare the same picture like here. So I have a product group, product 2.1, product 2.2, product 2.3, and also I have to ident it under the product group 2, and also add last 2 elements of product group 3. Product 3.1 and product 3.2. Okay, so I have made a product breakdown structure, so I have this part of my plan, and after that I have to make some estimations. I draw it directly as I define it on the net diagram. So here I have 2 weeks, here I have, sorry, not here, here, 2 weeks, 1 week. Product group 2.1 is 3 weeks. Here I have a product 2.2, it's 4 weeks. 2.3 is 3 weeks. Here I have 2 weeks, and here I have 1 week. I change a view not 2 days, but in 2 weeks, because I plan in weeks. And after that, I put the relation here. I start with task with product 1.1. After that, I make a product 1.2. So I have put here the relation to the to element 2. After that, I have a 2.1. So I have the same relation. After that, I have 2.2, but I have to put to the 3 and 5. 3 and 5. After that, I have, 3.1. 3.1 is to 1.1. 1.1, so here I have put a 3. After that, I have 3.2. And what about 2.3? 2.3 starts from the beginning. Okay, so after that I have the last one. So I have relation to 3.1, 3.2, and 2.3. 3.1 is 9. 2.2 is 6. And 3.1 is 10. Not 10, 9. Sorry. So I have a small problem here because I cannot make a relation, but why? I should. Once again, 3.1 is 9, it's okay. 2.2 is 6. And 2.3, okay, it's 7. 2.3 is 7. And right now, all should be correct. Okay, here I can add right now some costs. And put a money here. So 2.1 is 10,000. Here I have 5. Here I have 2.1, 330. Here 30,000. Here I have 2.1, 2.2, 20. okay, and 2.3 is 10. Here I have 20. Okay, and here I have 15. Perfect. After that, as you see, it's very, very easy. I can add my milestone and define milestone 1, milestone 2, and milestone 3. My milestones are describing a product or a product group. So I have to decrease the level of my conspect. And because these are a milestone, I have to put the time equal 0 and say that each milestone is delivered when all the product group is delivered. So I have relation to the product group here 1. Here I have 5. And here I have 10. So I have milestone. I can also put the milestone name on the Gantt chart. So I do this. It's a bit tricky, but give me a second. And I have names of my milestones directly on the Gantt chart. Right now, I would like to put here some stages. I have to divide my schedule into stages. So I put here the stages, 2 stages. Maybe one more. Stage 1, finished. Stage 2, finished. Of course, end of the stage is a point of the time, so I put here the timer equal 0 and put this into the sequence. So this is very simple, as you see. Okay, I have a sequence. And right now I have to see which, because each my stage lists 5 weeks. So I can put all the product group together with milestone 1 to the stage 1. Here. Perfect. And also I can I have to add some additional note. I know that this is tricky, but you will see why I do this. I will add a product group 2, sorry, it doesn't work. Product group 2 here, because I have to put some part of product group 2. I mean, I have put this element to the stage 2. Yes, this is okay. Maybe no. 2.1, okay. It should be okay. And also I can put here 2.3 because it is also delivered in the first stage. And probably not only, because I can put here 3.1. So I have put here also, I have put it also product group 3, the node. Because the product 3.1 is also delivered in the first stage. Okay, and the rest of my product probably is delivered in the second stage. So here I have all what is necessary to prepare a project plan. As you see, when I work with the, sorry, one small mistake here, I have to increase. Okay, if I will work with second stage, I can show only the second stage. If I work with the first stage, I can show only the first stage. And also I can calculate the cost of each stage. It's very simple. For example, just like here, at the top on the right, on the right maybe, I draw a cost. So I have a budget on the first stage, and here I will have, not here, but here, I will have a budget on the second stage as well. And of course, I can put here the budget of the whole project. Also on the right, not here, it's a bit tricky, sorry. Okay, doesn't matter. I can do this here. So I have time, task, and the money on the one picture, but please imagine that here you have about 100 or more than 100 positions on the Gantt chart. So maybe it will be a good idea to show it in a different way. In the Microsoft project, you can use a timeline view to show your schedule into very complex way. So I put to my timeline the product groups, milestones, stages, all these elements. Give me a second, please. And I add it to the timeline. And here I can show that I have a first stage. Here I have a second stage. I can show that I deliver in the first and the second stage each product group. Also put here a time of finishing in each stage. And also I show the milestones here. So on this timeline, I can show the result of each stage. I will save it as an example. The desktop is probably the best location of saving a project. Of course, it's a joke. My very important project. But because I would like you to show the possibility for making some kind of reports using Microsoft Project, I switch to the report set and use visual reports. And I would like to prepare a cash flow diagram. Sorry, it's a bit slowly, but in a few seconds, cash flow. No, cash flow. I need the cash flow. And right now, if you have an Excel installed together with your Microsoft project, the Microsoft project prepare the OLAP cube to prepare the multi-dimensional analysis on the cost. If you like the Excel spreadsheets and multi-dimensional analysis, here you have all you need to make cost analysis in the time. So here we have a normal cash flow in the project, which is prepared on the basis of this schedule. So you can join it together and prepare, in fact, the report for your project board. For example, if you copy this to the full size and prepare, for example, Word document, you can prepare nice, pretty, insert special, just like graphical object. We have a timeline here, but not maybe different way. Place is a special DIB. Okay, will be better. Here we put also the schedule of the project. So I will mark all these elements, use a copy picture for printer, for example, and put it here. And after that, I will use a cash flow diagram. So here you have a very completely documentation of your project using the procedure of the planning supported by two tools, Microsoft Project and Microsoft Excel. And that's all. I would like you to prepare the similar schedule during your workshop. So maybe you have any question regarding my short presentation of the planning process and supporting the planning process with very simple SOC tools. Of course, we also make one lecture on the basis on informatics support of the project. So we will use a Microsoft project with Excel in 2 weeks, I think. But maybe right now you have some question regarding the planning. So feel free to use chat for asking. Śmiało zadawajcie Państwo pytania, bo to jest wszystko, co chciałem Państwu dzisiaj pokazać, czyli chciałem z Państwem przejść pełny proces planistyczny co do teorii, przejść go na kartce i przejść go w narzędziu informatycznym. Jakie macie Państwo pytania? Czy otrzymacie Państwo prezentację plus plik? Prezentację już udostępniam, sorry, a plik wyślę. Także prezentację już, udostępnione pliki, pokaż listę plików, bardzo proszę. Nic wielkiego. I mogę Państwu wysłać ten harmonogram plus Excela plus plik projekta w pakiecie. Będzie OK? Dobra, też zapisuję na pulpicie. I Excela też zapiszę na pulpicie i zaraz go Państwu wyślę. Jakie jeszcze macie Państwo pytania? OK. Proszę Państwa, w takim razie ja bardzo dziękuję za dzisiaj. Widzimy się za tydzień. Za tydzień